Welcome to KBC Lunchtime News. My name is Njue, and we have a comprehensive bulletin lined up here for you. Karon Joroge joins me on the sign language interpretation. Remember, we are live from the broadcasting house here in the county of Nairobi, and we are also live on all our social media spaces, including our KBC digital app. Straight to the news. The Kenya National Commission on Human Rights claims it documented 3 deaths in the just concluded by-elections and 1,173 complaints on violation of civic and political rights in 2025. Speaking during the launch of the 2025 report on the state of human rights in the country, the chairperson of the commission, Clarice Oganga, indicated 2 people were killed in Kasipul and 1 in Kabuchai ward, while calling for fast-tracking of investigation on electoral-related violence. Oganga also revealed that the commission was denied access to 2 tallying centers in Bere North and Mumboni in Machakos. The report also indicates that 57 individuals lost their lives in extrajudicial killings from December of 2024 and December of 2025.
From Kasipul, Kabondo, during the by-elections, and then there was one there was a 70-year-old in a stampede in Kabuchai. So those are the 3 deaths that we've been able to document. The by-elections cannot be said to have been fully free and fair. There were a lot of violations. There were a lot of infringement on the rights of the voters, infringement on the rights of the people who were to be voted for, that compromised the by-elections. And our work really is to work now with IEBC, Parliament, and the executive to look at preparedness for the next by-elections. The Commission will be releasing the full report on the by-elections, and you'll be able to pick on some of the areas that we feel needs reforms and the government needs to put in place measures to implement.
Isiolo Governor Abdi Guyo wants detectives to move with speed and arrest spiraling cases of insecurity in the area, the latest being the killings of 2 national police reservists. Meanwhile, members of the Ogiek community in Cheptai's area of Mount Elgon, Bungoma County, are living in fear of eviction, claiming they have been raided by unknown people posing as police officers looking for illegal guns.
Isiolo Governor Abdi Guyo was speaking during the celebrations to mark the annual Sakuye Cultural Night, where he called on detectives to urgently investigate the spate of crimes witnessed around Isiolo Central Business District, Tuluroba, Escort along the Isiolo-Garissa border, and at the Chari grazing zone that has turned a killing field. Guyo blamed the situation on some politicians he said are instigating ethnic animosity for their own selfish political interests ahead of the 2027 general elections. Meanwhile, members of the Ogiek community in Mount Elgon area of Bungoma County, including that of Kenya's long-distance runner Diana Cherotich, are worried after armed people, disguised as police officers looking for illegal guns, attacked them and asked them to leave the area.
After that, chachapo anapiga risasi mtoto mtoko wapi hiyo kijana? Mtoto kijana ametoroka kufikiria labda anataka kufahamiwa. Mtoto tu mtoko na anafatishwa marisasi.
They are supposed to work with the community for conservation of the forest and work in harmony with the community so that they live in harmony. But when you go and then arrest the people who live next to the forest, you are then not working in the interest of the people of Kenya.
Tilio Marco for Lunchtime News.
A middle-aged man has been lynched by members of the public in Kitengela town, Kajiado County, after snatching a mobile phone from a pedestrian. The man is alleged to have tried brandishing a toy pistol in his bid to escape, but was overpowered by the irate mob. Police officers who were nearby were unable to save him from their wrath. The locals have since raised concerns over rising cases of insecurity in the area, calling on the authorities to intervene.
An iPhone, and finally it has been caught. And in Tengele, this scene has been so much common, and finally ameshikwa and mob justice has done its work.
Wizi imekuwa too much. Lazima polisi ya Kitengela ifanye kazi.
Moving on, National Transport and Safety Authority (NTSA) has suspended the licenses of 62 drivers from 7 public transport operators and mandated they undergo retesting. NTSA says the actions highlight their firm and ongoing commitment to road safety, particularly this festive season. The 62 suspended drivers include from Tahmed Express Limited, Atema Travelers Bus and Safari Company Limited, Meru Nissan Operators Sacco, Moline Prestige Service Shuttle Limited, M-Trans Sacco Limited, and Enabled Mashariki Investment Limited. This action follows compliance assessment that reveal multiple violations and serious safety concerns. NTSA further directed that besides retesting the identified drivers and the affected operators must organize road safety awareness training for all their drivers and present selected vehicles for inspection. Drivers retesting exercise is part of the wider proactive effort by the authority aimed at ensuring every driver possesses the requisite skill and competencies to safety operate on our roads. Several operators are currently under scrutiny to ensure their drivers and vehicles fully comply with established safety regulations. Moving on, agricultural experts in the western part of the country have challenged the government to invest more in the soil nutritional levels regeneration, drawing experience from a decade-long soil regeneration program under the GIZ dubbed Pro Soil Project. They estimated the country is losing close to 170 billion shillings each year due to poor soils. The project covered Siaya, Bungoma and Kakamega counties. Achola Simon has the details.
From lessons learned throughout the decade-long Pro Soil project funded by the German cooperation agency GIZ, agricultural experts want the government to invest more in soil regeneration, incentivize farming, and build general capacity for farmers to protect the soils.
Healthy soils need 3 things: knowledge about soil management, number 2 is investment of capital, and number 3 is institutions that provide a favorable environment for farmers.
Farmers across the western region have previously either used inadequate or wrong fertilizers, tremendously increasing its acidic levels.
A lot of our soils in Kenya, a good percentage are sick, and we also have few cases where we have really big challenges in terms of dead soil. But all is not lost, because if I look at the technologies, what our farmers have learned over the last 4 years, I mean over the last 10 years when it comes to this project, they have learned how to manage, because basically what we really need for us and for us in Kenya is to manage our soils.
Under the just concluded program, at least 228,000 farmers were enrolled in the project. Significant growth in yields of up to 46% were realized with noticeable improved soil agricultural land management practices.
We realized that our soils were not very good, owing to the preliminary results that we carried out in the field. Most of the soils were acidic, and immediate measures were supposed to be taken. So as a county government, we are building a laboratory which will help to subsidize the cost of soil testing and analysis and make it closer to our farmers.
To leverage the gains made, the experts want both the national and county governments to invest more in extension services.
For extension services in Kenya, which are the responsibility of county governments, this requires public investment and also very knowledgeable extension officers. Number 2 is investment into also subsidies of fertilizer, which is currently taking place, but it also needs especially investment into organic fertilizer. And number 2 is an institutional framework that incentivizes farmers.
They are also calling on structured sustainable efforts to create employment to curb rural-urban migration. They also want more youths involved in the agriculture sector. Achola Simon, Lunchtime News, Kisumu County.
Gender equality champions are raising concerns over persistent gaps that continue to expose women to exploitation both at home and in public spaces, despite ongoing efforts to curb gender-based violence in the country. The Principal Secretary in the State Department for Gender and Affirmative Action, Anne Wangombe, who spoke during the launch of a safe house in Homa Bay County, called on parents to protect children against teenage pregnancies during the long holidays. Findings from the 2022 Kenya Demographic and Health Survey show that 34% of women aged between the ages of 15 and 49 have faced GBV, with 1 in 3 reporting sexual violence from intimate partners.
Nakuru, like Machakos. And what we want to say is that we must say no to gender-based violence. Akina mama, wacha tuseme no to gender-based violence.
It is an issue that we must take up on a very, very serious note, because what is also resulting in SGBV that we have here are mental health issues, especially our sons, our husbands, our shemejis, they don't talk.
Masuala ya watoto kuambukizwa magonjwa ya ukimwi yanaharibu maisha ya baadaye ya watoto wetu. Na ni vizuri sana ikiwa katika sherehe zote ambazo zitafanywa, kwa sababu najua ya kwamba huu ni msimu wa sherehe, watoto wapewe kipaumbele. Watoto wa jinsia ya kike wachungwe sana.
Now we are like a grass. An African woman is a beautiful woman.
And still on social welfare, children protection advocates in Kilifi County say public phones bought in credit are contributing to rising cases of online child sexual abuse. During a community sensitization forum in Rabai, officials led by Rabai Area Children's Officer Levi Wafula criticized parents who allow minors access phones by using their ID cards. They called for joint action from the community and government to regulate phone access and protect children.
Mzazi anaona mtoto pale na simu pale nyumbani, na si amemnunulia hiyo simu, na mzazi haulizi kwa nini huyu mtoto ako na hii simu. Unapata hata to a good extent ule mzazi pia anatumia ile simu yenye ule mtoto ameleta. Unapata kuwa hizi simu ambazo zinalipa mdogo mdogo, simu za mkopo, mtoto anachukua kitambulisho, anaenda anachukua simu. Hizi simu za mkopo ina expose watoto wetu sana kwa online abuse.
Manake mtoto hata kama ataficha simu kwa nyumba yako, kuna ile siku bado hiyo simu utaipata. Ama mtoto anatumia simu ile bado anaweza kukupigia kama mzazi na huulizi maswali. Ndio pale ambapo tunasema jukumu la kuangalia mtoto, mostly hata sasa time ya holiday, linaanza na mzazi mwenyewe.
Sheria tuko nazo nyingi, lakini wale wa kuguide wale watoto, our family values ndo haziko siku hizi, zimepotea. Tukiangalia tumeachia sasa watoto wetu wanafunzwa na ulimwengu.
From the coast to Isiolo, where pastoralist women in Lengwenyi village, Oldonyiro ward in Isiolo County, are embracing crop production in a move that is transforming livelihoods and reducing cases of child malnutrition in the area. Through a food security initiative supported by Action Against Hunger in partnership with the Isiolo County government, the aim is to reduce the number of malnourished children in the village from 16 to just 1 within a year. According to the chairperson of the group, Nailetoi Lekirani, the project has transformed the lives of 36 women in the area, giving their household reliable access to nutritious food.
Under fives were receiving food commodities from the hospital, that is plumpy nuts for children who are malnourished. But with the introduction of this project, we have seen a significant improvement where over time we have only, I think for when we started we had 16 children in the program, but at the moment we have only 1 child who is malnourished, and we're also following up with the case.
Kitambo tulikuwa hatukuwa na lishe bora watoto wa mama. Kisa tumepata lishe bora ya hii mboga yenye tunakula kwa shamba na viazi tamu tunakutana nini tuko nayo kwa shamba na njugu. Sasa tunashukuru.
Moving on, Nyandarua County's newest municipality, Mairo Inya, has received a fully equipped fire engine dedicated towards disaster response in the area and surrounding communities within Ndaragwa sub-county. During the handover ceremony, Nyandarua County Governor Kiarie Badilisha said the fleet of fire engines in the county has now increased and they are ready to provide services when needed.
Na gari hii itasaidia mpaka siku ile tutakuwa na uwezo wa kununua hayo magari mengine. Na pia tungependa wale vijana wa hapa ambao wako na hiyo ujuzi, tutawapea training kidogo tu waweze kufanya hii kazi. Ni vizuri kila wakati lazima mtu alale karibu na gari lake, ili janga likitokea tunafanya kazi kwa urahisi.
Wakati wa janga la moto tulikuwa na shida sana ya kuzima moto, lakini tunashukuru sana sasa kwa sababu gari yetu ya moto iko hapa karibu na sisi.
The residents of Miungoni in Lungalunga, Kwale County, in collaboration with our rights organization, have pledged to pressure the national and county governments to implement the proposals of the National Assembly's Public Petition Committee to hand them the ownership of the parcel of land which is at the center of a dispute between them and a private developer. The residents say it is unconstitutional for them to continue to live without land ownership documents in places where they have lived for decades and buried their parents.
Kamati ya bunge, the Public Petitions Committee, ilitoa ripoti muhimu iliyothibitisha kuwa ardhi inayogombewa ni ya umiliki wa pamoja baina ya jamii, serikali ya kaunti ya Kwale na mwekezaji Velji Parbat.
Ripoti ya bunge ni mwongozo kamili, unastahili kufuatwa huu mwongozo kwa sababu na pia kuheshimiwa na kutekelezwa. Tunatoa wito kwa serikali ya kwamba zote mbili, zikiwa ile ya kaunti na pia ile ya kitaifa, ya kwamba ni lazima tuheshimu katiba, na kama katiba haitaheshimiwa basi hawa watu ambao watasema wanatuongoza sisi waje wazi watuambie kwa nini hawaheshimu katiba kama Wakenya.
Hatutakubali mwanasiasa yote kuingia hapa kutufanyia siasa, ila kama anataka siasa tumuunge mkono aje kutukombolea shamba hili letu.
In other news, the Deputy Chief of Staff in charge of Government Performance and Delivery Management, Eliud Owalo, has warned that contractors should implement their projects to a logical conclusion to ensure that the utilization of the taxpayers' money serves the public well. Owalo, who toured various government projects in Migori County, said that the Government Delivery Unit, GDU, concern hinges on the contractor's ability and technical capacity to perform the assigned task. He inspected the Ngege Mapera Rabuor and Kawa Osingo Nyaduong roads in Suna East, which is 11% complete, the Kegonga Level 4 Hospital in Kuria East, which is 35% complete, and the construction of Migori Stadium, which stands at about 40% completion rate.
Contractors only to take up the number of jobs that they are able to implement at the same time. We are witnessing a situation where you have a contractor doing a hospital, the next day is running to an affordable housing project, the next day is running onto a road. I mean, you can't be a jack of all trades. Let contractors identify their thematic areas of core competency and stick to those lines so that we don't have challenges in implementation of next generational government projects. As Government Delivery Unit, we do not care the process you went through to get that project, and we don't really care whom you know. Yeah? Our concern is your technical capacity. The government has got no money of its own. We are utilizing public money. So once we have committed a contractor by way of getting into a contractual obligation, that contractual obligation must be met by both parties. The government will meet its part of the bargain. The contractor must implement the project to a logical conclusion.
St. Peter's Elbagon has emerged as the overall winner of the Molo Constituency Music Festivals in Nakuru County, walking away with a cool cash prize of 200,000 shillings in a competition that showcased diverse musical talent from across the constituency. The event, held at St. Mary's Catholic Church in Molo, brought together various choirs and music groups in a spirited but healthy contest aimed at promoting talent development at the grassroots. Speaking during the event, Molo Member of Parliament Kimani Kuria reaffirmed his commitment to supporting sports and music talents, urging participants to embrace discipline and healthy competition.
Mimi nilijiuliza, hawa wanakwaya ambao huwa wanatuimbia kila Sunday wanapiga muziki vizuri kanisani, wakimaliza kuimba vizuri na sauti zao inafika wote wanaenda nyumbani.
Tunaendelea na mazoezi mpaka usiku, na katika wiki nzima tumekuwa na mazoezi mfululizo, na ndio tulipokosa tumeweza kuona mkono wake Mwenyezi Mungu, sababu tunasema hii ushindi sio wetu.
Ningewaomba hata wazazi ama mtu yote ambaye ako na mtoto na ambaye ako na kipaji asifiche, afungue huyo mtoto, amlete na ili aweze kwenda na kufanya nini, na hicho kipaji kinaweza julikana na huyo mtoto hata anaweza enda mbali.
Now, a 25-year-old Sheila Chepto, a poultry farmer from Masare village in Bomet County, is the new millionaire in town. Sheila won 1 million shillings from the ongoing Shangwe at 25 promotion by Safaricom. Sheila said she was purchasing her usual 1.2 GB internet bundle for 55 shillings and airtime worth 23 shillings before being declared the winner. Following the win, Sheila, who is rearing 132 chicken, planned to expand her poultry farm to make it fully commercial.
Ni moja kutoka at Shangwe promotion, na nilipokea ujumbe nikafurahi. Kando na milioni moja kuna 250,000 nimepewa ya projects, na niliweza kutengenezea shule inaitwa Kapsimoto Primary viti za wanafunzi. Before nipate hii pesa, mimi huwa nalima shamba na nafuka kuku. Niposa nikawin hii milioni moja, nilikuwa nimenunua bundles ya 55 bob na nikanunua minutes ya 23 bob na nikakuwa milionea. Hii milioni moja nitatumia kuongeza kuku wengine. Niko na watoto huwa nawasaidia nyumbani na pia nitasaidia nyumbani.
And to another kind of celebration where there was joy and celebration at Huruma Children's Home in Ngong, Kajiado County, after a group of well-wishers led by Irene Munted donated foodstuff and essential commodities to support vulnerable children ahead of the Christmas festivities. The donation, which included assorted food supplies and basic household necessities, is expected to boost the home's capacity to care for the children during the long December holiday, when many institutions face increased pressure to sustain daily feeding programs. Director and founder of Ngong Huruma Children's Home, Zipporah Kamau, noted that the contribution would go a long way in ensuring the children are well catered for during the festive season.
It goes so far to help me to care for these children. God says, whoever gives to the needy is lending to God, and every lending is paid. So you remember, you wait from the Lord, because God will give you back.
And indeed, Christmas is a time of joy and a season of giving. Well, that joy takes us to the first commercial break at about 26 minutes past the top of the hour. Time for me and Carol Njoroge to take a quick break. But when we come back, I'll run you through a couple of more stories. Then we do business. I'll be telling you all about the big Manchester United victory last night.
From a legacy shaped through decades of transformation, the Tel-Poster pension schemes stand as a pillar of security for former Telkom Kenya staff and their families. Guided by a dedicated board of trustees, the scheme safeguards benefit, ensure timely payment, and invest wisely for a stable future. Tel-Poster Pension Scheme and Provident Fund invites all its members to an annual general meeting for the financial year ended 30th June 2025. At the Kenyatta International Convention Center, Aberdare Lenana Room. Watch this AGM live on KBC Channel 1 at 9:30 a.m. on 10th December 2025. Tel-Poster Pension Scheme, assuring your future.
I promise, nothing like what happened today is gonna happen again.
Right. Here comes my shit.
Auntie, you're good.
About last night, I didn't do anything, and no one did anything to me either.
50 good years of flawless discipline, and you gentlemen ruined it all. You deserve a spot in the history books, huh? What a display.
So if we cover for Chung Lai, she'll owe us a favor too.
It's two guys. If we let them off that easily, they'll never learn. I think we should deduct half a month of subsidies. That's fair.
Indeed.
Where?
Baba Gina.
Na mayai?
Sikuiona.
Akibada ile pesa yote.
Masa!
Kwanza yenda alinitengenezea hii.
Wow. Sisi skills zitamsaidia in future.
Josh! Mama Cindy! Mama Kenti toka. Kumbe hivi ni kweli?
Ni nini unaficha?
Hiyo pesa nitakurudishia.
Monica.
Welcome back to Lunchtime News, and indeed many thanks for keeping it Channel 1. To politics and governance now, where young people are being urged to register as voters to make their voices count at the ballot. The call came from the newly registered National Economic Development Party interim leader, Mike Mbuvi Sonko. The party, which received its interim registration certificate, was formed by a group of professionals and will soon unveil its National Executive Council. The Registrar of Political Parties, John Lorionoku, who handed over the certificate, challenged political parties to uphold good governance and maintain peace at all times. Sonko signaled his intention to yet again have the Supreme Court review his impeachment case.
We are going to follow a democratic process of electing leaders through the delegates, through the wananchi.
Next year we'll have a robust exercise of mobilizing youth across the country to register as voters, so that in 2027 we'll have the best candidates contesting these positions.
Let's help in bringing the good manners into the political space. We have a country to guard. Okay? People struggle in many spaces to say there are bigger parties and smaller parties.
And elsewhere, residents of Narok County have been encouraged to take part in the ongoing National Identification Card registration exercise and apply for the documents to ensure, they do not miss out on key government services and opportunities such as university scholarship, loan facilities, subsidized fertilizer, the Inua Jamii program, and the Social Health Insurance Fund SHIF. Principal Secretary for the State Department of Immigration, Dr. Belio Kipsang, made the appeal while issuing ID cards at Endonya, Russia in Narok West Sub-County. According to Dr. Kipsang, applicants can now receive their ID cards within 1 to 3 days, a major improvement from past experiences.
Vile niliwaambia tulikuwa hapa tangu Ijumaa, na hiyo Friday tulienda na details na biometrics ya watu ya hapa, na leo asubuhi tumepeana ID ya watu wenye walikuwa wamekuja Ijumaa, ili vile tumeambiwa wa Kenya kwamba hii kitambulisho inapatikana hata kwa siku moja. Kama wewe uko Nairobi, ukikuja saa 2 asubuhi, kufika jioni utakuwa umepata ID. Kwa maana unaona watu wa Narok walikuja Ijumaa, kufika leo Jumatatu wamepata ID yao. Kwa hivyo nawahakikishia Wakenya wote kwamba sisi wote tukuje ili kila mtu apate ID, so that we leave nobody behind.
Mimi ningetaka tu nikumbushe ama kufupisha kwamba huduma ambayo inapeana siku ya leo hapa ya kitambulisho ni muhimu kabisa. Ni muhimu ambayo vile tumeelezwa mambo mengi, huduma ya serikali bila kitambulisho na bila nini hatutafaulu.
Some more joy now, where more than 500 elderly people in Laikipia West Sub-County, Laikipia County, have been treated to early Christmas gifts from well-wishers. Peter Kuria, a local philanthropist, said that it was an opportunity to honor senior citizens during this festive period, with plans to roll out the initiative in other parts of the county during the holiday season. They received items such as duvet covers, foodstuffs, among others.
So siku ya leo sisi tuliona ni vizuri tukuje tuombe baraka kwa wazazi wetu. Na kuomba baraka ni kitu moja peke yake, huwezi barikiwa mkono tupu. So tumeleta blanketi kwa wazazi wetu, zile zinaitwa duvet, ile ambayo ni iko na seti ya 4, na pia tumeleta unga kidogo ya kupika chapati, ili wakati sikukuu inaendelea wapata pia kufanya nini? Kusherehekea na wale.
Nimefurahi sana kwa kupatia vulageti, nitaenda kujifunika, nisikie mzuri, naye Mungu akubariki na akuongeze masiku mingi baba yangu.
Nimeshukuru kwa vile ameonyesha ukarimu wake kunipatia kitu ya malazi. Sasa ninaona ya kwamba nitakuwa nikipata joto na nitakuwa nikilala usingizi mzuri. Kwa hivyo abarikiwe.
Well, for our cabinet series, we look at Johnston Macau, the former Information Cabinet Secretary, or Minister for that matter, during the Moi era. Let's take a look at it.
Johnston Mwendo Macau was born in Yatta village in Boni constituency of Machakos County.
Makau joined elective politics in 1988, where he contested and won the Mboni parliamentary seat. He retained his seat in the first multi-party elections of 1992. Before plunging into politics, Makau had cut his teeth as an editor and marketer at Longhorn Publishing Company, one of the leading publishing firms in Kenya at the time. Shortly after his election, he was appointed to the cabinet, where he served as minister for 10 years. As a youthful minister for information and broadcasting, he spent most of his time fending off local and international criticism of President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi's government for muzzling media freedom. During his tenure, journalists were arrested and locked up in police stations and released without trial for what the government claimed was writing false reports. Makau often held press conferences to defend the government against accusations that it was engaged in such excesses as human rights abuses and violation of people's freedoms. Despite this, Makau is credited with having strengthened the government-run Kenya News Agency network, KNA, by opening up more offices across the country. This provided a platform to explain government policies and to counter anti-government opinions. The minister also forged closer links between his ministry and the Chinese government, which resulted in the introduction of the official Chinese government's Xinhua news agency in Kenya. He also often recognized and occasionally awarded talented local actors and musicians and demanded that they be promoted through the Kenya Broadcasting Corporation TV and radio stations. Makau lost the Mboni seat in 1997 elections, after which he retired from active politics and concentrated in his own businesses. He died in June 2005.
Time to make sense of business. The Kenya Bureau of Standards has called on institutions to integrate their management systems to improve efficiency and competitiveness. Speaking during the 6th Annual Management Representatives and Auditors Conference, KEBS Managing Director Esther Ngari said organizations should adopt coordinated governance, safety and quality frameworks. Ngari emphasized that auditing should go beyond compliance to drive improvement, reduce risk and promote accountability.
Or they create silos, and especially in terms of how audit is done. But we are here to encourage institutions who have adopted or who have been certified for different systems, that these systems are supposed to speak to each other, that whenever audits are carried out, then these audits should be done in a manner that they create impact in the institutions, and it doesn't become it doesn't become a situation where there is fatigue.
We have other activities, including trainings in quality management systems. We cover quite a number of them. All these systems, trainings, ensure that we entrench a culture of quality and that we develop our organizations, our institutions in service delivery based on the best international practices.
Elsewhere, the SACCO Society's Regulatory Authority will be empowered to strengthen sector oversight, establish a deposit protection fund and a savings stabilization fund to cushion members against losses. Under new reforms by the government, a central liquidity facility will be created to provide emergency support to SACCOs facing short-term cash flow gaps.
At the opening of the 10th Cusco Annual Leaders Summit in Mombasa,
Cooperatives Cabinet Secretary Wycliffe Oparanya says amendments to the Sacco Societies Act will entrench transparency, digital integration, and institutional accountability across the industry. The CS says the government will roll out mandatory professional registration for Sacco board members and executives to curb leadership recycling, saying anyone who fails the governance in one Sacco will not be allowed to shift to another.
This hard-earned savings from members, we must make sure that as a government we have legislation and policies that protect members' savings.
Oparanya further says that the amendments to the Sacco Societies Act will enhance transparency, promote digital integration, and reinforce institutional accountability across the industry.
And we have structured implementation over the next 5 years. We are sure that what is in the report, if it is implemented fully, Kenya will be in a different level in terms of SACCOs in the world as a whole.
In 2025, a number of fraud cases have rocked the sector, leading to the loss of billions of shillings in member savings, eroding market confidence.
We are establishing the Central Liquidity Facility, where on daily basis, SACCOs that have liquidity shortage, liquidity deficiency, are able to access quick money so that they can put their members as they recover gradually.
Sylvia Gatti for Lunchtime News.
Now, hundreds of young women from underserved communities in Kenya stand to benefit from new skills training, mentorship, direct links to decent jobs opportunities under a 3-year program launched by Standard Chartered Bank Foundation and UNICEF. Standard Chartered Bank CEO Kariuki Ngari says the initiative is to strategic response to the rising youth unemployment, particularly among young women who face limited pathways into formal work.
The youth bulge, which is often cited as one of the country's greatest development opportunities, took center stage as Standard Chartered Bank Foundation and UNICEF's Generation Unlimited unveiled Links to Work, a 3-year employability program aimed at empowering young women aged 18 to 24.
Trying to make sure that when you go for that interview, the interviewer will say, that young lady has something. Let's open the door for them. Because the door it closes very easily. But I think the statistics are here. I don't have to defend it anymore. 1 in 3, 1 in 10. I don't know whether you missed that. And we've seen this. When women settle, when women have access to employment, when they have an income, communities settle.
All the demand is to be heard, and all the demand is that we understand and we design our programs accordingly that resonates with our young people's ambition. And there's no reason why we should not trust.
Links to Work seeks to bridge structural gaps limiting young women's entry into the labor market by addressing both skill supply and job demand.
Young women face many challenges, including access to networks. They face challenges with mobility, and they face other challenges and other structural biases during hiring processes. And you'll find that because of this, the young women are really suffering the major brunt of unemployment.
There is a program that we're doing with young women, young moms in Kibera who are looking to rewrite their stories. So what we're doing is these women would come to the training sessions with their kids on their back and so much determination in their eyes. And they wanted to make a change for themselves.
The program will operate in Kenya and Nigeria with a target to link at least 1,500 women to opportunities over the next 3 years. Trevor Njue for Lunchtime News.
Moving on, a section of players in the electric motorcycle value chain in collaboration with the government are working on standardizing charging and battery swapping system across two-wheeler brands in a bid to improve affordability and accessibility for riders across the country. Watu Credit Commercial Manager Eric T says the rollout of harmonized charging infrastructure will improve adoption of electric vehicles.
fact, when we look at currently how many EV companies we have, I think there's over 30 or maybe even 50 companies at the moment. Every company is using a different battery system. So we need something called what we call interoperability, which basically means we need batteries to be compatible with all swap stations. You can go to any swap station in Kenya and charge. That will make life a lot easier for the riders and help riders move around Kenya a lot more.
Yes, it will be beneficial because it allows riders to swap at various stations, and also standardization of batteries will help us as e-mobility players to come up with specific standards that we need to adopt. Yes, this is in progress, and we are in communication as players on how to achieve this.
And Narok County Government Patrick Olentutu has urged county employees to embrace performance-based contracting, saying it is vital for improving service delivery. Speaking at the annual performance contracting ceremony, Olentutu acknowledged rollout challenges but assured staff that the county is enhancing training, proper staffing and tools to support the system. He dismissed claims of witch hunting, assuring the contracts are meant to identify gaps and boost efficiency. The governor also announced that construction of the new county headquarters will begin before the festive season and be completed within 6 months, providing a better working environment.
This is the only way that we can measure performance. They are the key indicators of how we are doing our work. And I remember when we started the first year, when we came back and evaluate what you have been able to do, we had about 70, thereabout, of people who have either understood or even has not been cascaded to the lower levels. Also, inadequate facilitation and equipment. All along, we knew that there was a problem with the office space, but they have assured me within 6 months they will finish our office so that all of us will be in the same building and every department will have their own floor.
Let's now switch gears to matters sports. More than 100 teams are competing in the 2025 edition of the annual Humphrey Muchuma tournament, which was launched on Monday evening in Webuye, West Bungoma County. The tournament will feature various sporting disciplines, including football and volleyball, and will conclude on the 1st of January 2026.
A total of 113 sports teams are fighting for the 2025 titles of the annual Humphrey Muchuma Sports Tournament, which will run until the first day of the new year. Winners of the tournament, renowned for its focus on community unity and youth empowerment, will be rewarded cash prizes. Launched by Humphrey Muchuma, CEO of Njue AI Group, the 2025 edition, like the previous two editions, is aimed at fostering unity during the holiday season, encouraging youth engagement in sport and technology, and addressing issues such as gender-based violence.
We are here to promote unity, we are here to promote talent, and of course the unstoppable spirit of our young people. We want to see young people stepping into the field. And when they step into the field, they're actually exploring the opportunities that are there. And we want to protect that, and we want to support that as a group.
Even as teams vie for victory, the event in its third edition stands as a testament to the power of sports in driving social change and community cohesion.
It's very important for our young people to understand that the future is changing. Other than sports, there are also opportunities. We can have people growing in other people growing in the area of sports. We also have talents coming up in the area of artificial intelligence. And we very well know internet made a lot of millionaires when it was launched. But this one will make even 100 times more millionaires, and we want our children to be exposed to that, to grow, so that they can bring the money here, grow our community, grow the people.
City Koyang FC and Mwangaza Starlets won the 2024 football edition of the tournament. City Koyang FC defeated Kandalala 4-3 on post-match penalties to lift the men's title, while Mwangaza Starlets won the women's title after registering a 1-0 win over Kandalala Starlets in the final.
We've seen rise on the surge in gender-based violence, and I think that kind of tournaments, and this particular tournament, will help a big deal, because we get the teams engaged. We are here, we're working together as one family, you know, we're here as a unified team, and we can engage them, we can provide opportunities for them. We'll have people that will be here scouting for talent this time, for them to go and, you know, play outside the country, and some of them locally.
Kuyua girls defeated Mwembula women in 3 straight sets to win the women's volleyball title. Inua AI is a tech company that aims to create awareness on artificial intelligence, provide training in information technology, and offer job opportunities in the digital space.
In other news, Kenya's Njoroge Kibugu and Naom Wafula have secured historic playing cards on the Sunshine Tour and Sunshine Ladies Tour after strong performances throughout the inaugural season of the Sunshine Development Tour. Njoroge has climbed 1,896 places on the official World Golf ranking from 3,508 before the start of the tour to 1,612, currently making him the highest ranked East African in the world. Naomi Wafula earned her card to the Sunshine Ladies Tour after an outstanding season where she made 7 out of 8 cuts on the Sunshine Development Tour. She is currently ranked 18th on the Order of Merit and is the highest ranked female player on the tour.
It means a lot to be the first Kenyan to secure a Sunshine Tour card. I'm forever grateful to Sunshine Tour and Sunshine Development Tour for giving us the opportunity. And yeah, I just can't wait to showcase my talent on the big stage.
Through the Sunshine Development Tour that we've been playing, now I got a card for the Sunshine Ladies Tour in South Africa. That is so amazing. It's always been my dream to play on tour.
That is a first for East African golf. In 125 years, no East African has ever secured a playing card on any tour globally. So Njoroge Kibugu becomes the first East African, the first Kenyan in 125 years.
Congratulations to the two. But further afield, Bruno Fernandes netted twice as Manchester United thrashed Wolves 4-1 in an English Premier League match that was played last night. Mason Mount and Brian Mbeumo were also on target for United. The win moved them up to 6th in the Premier League table.
Strike with his right foot. Looks like Sam Johnson in the Wolves goal could be in for a busy evening. Once again, the Wolves defence just switch off.
Bruno Fernandes. It's superbly taken, and it's 4-1.
Congratulations to the Red Devils. And something else, allow me to just point out the matches that will be played tonight. Remember, the Champions League resumes this evening. We'll be having Kairat Almaty playing Olympiacos. Bayern Munich of Germany will be playing Sporting of Portugal. AS Monaco of France will be playing Galatasaray. Atalanta will be playing Chelsea. Barcelona will be playing Frankfurt. Inter will face to face with Liverpool. PSV Eindhoven will play Atletico de Madrid, and Tottenham Hotspurs play Slavia Prague of Czech Republic. Many thanks indeed for joining us for KBC Lunchtime News this Tuesday afternoon. I'm Bentro Njue. My co-anchor on the sign language interpretation has been Caro Njoroge. Of course, for this news plus much more, don't forget to check out our social media spaces. More news in our subsequent bulletin. But for now, it's bye-bye from us. Do have yourself a blessed afternoon and happy holidays.
Greetings in the name of the Most High, Jah Rastafari. My good name is Marley Moses, the positive warrior, alongside...
Yes, sir, DJ D-Rage, the baddest. Each and every Wednesday from 10 p.m. on KBC Channel 1 TV.
Tunakuletea the biggest reggae party in 254 in a yard extra. Extra niceness of reggae music.
Extra dose of entertainment.
When the thing is nice,
we have to do it twice.
It is the second week of the Sherehe month. Yes, the month of December, and we are officially into that Sherehe season. And what does that mean for us as the Grapevine team? This is our favorite month of the year because we get to bring you events back to back to back. And today is no different, as we will be showing you the legendary singer's performance. That is the one and only R&B superstar, R&B legend, Joe Thomas. Yes, he was in the country and we captured that for you. We also have a Color Fest as well as a Spotify Wrapped and everything in between. Stay with us. My name is Vivian Degwa, or you can simply just call me Miss V, and you know what this right here is? Grapevine. What you gotta do? This is just the right way to start off the show. You know that right here on Grapevine, we got you covered matters, events. And right about now, for the lovers of R&B music, and specifically old school R&B music, this one you're definitely gonna love. We are having Joe Thomas live in concert right here at the Uhuru Gardens. And specifically for me, I am here for the sing-along because, you know, aside from Joe performing, we're going to be enjoying some music from our dope DJs from right here in the 254 who will be playing us throwback R&B music. I'm sure they're going to touch on some Kenyan music as well. Now, I mean, if you are not able to be here, don't worry, that is why we exist as Grapevine. We got you covered. So how about you just get inside and get it rolling? Come with me.
Friday evening, Uhuru Gardens came alive with nostalgia, elegance, and pure soulful energy as the Rhythm and Branch concert delivered an unforgettable night dedicated to classic R&B. The evening began with sets from some of Nairobi's finest DJs who took the audience on a journey through classics that defined a generation. Their mixes set the perfect tone, warming up the crowd with the familiar harmonies and slow grooves that have recently been making a resurgence in the